Hello everybody, welcome back to another wonderful biology class, and today we're going to finish up our unit on evolution, our module on cladistics, looking at our domains and kingdoms. So welcome, let's get into it. Our guiding question for today is, what are the major characteristics of the three domains? It's a good question, I like it, so let's get into it. And we have our new vocabulary, which are actually our three domains: archaea, protists, or protistus, protist, and fungus. Our review vocabulary for today is a eukaryote, which hopefully you remember is any cell, any organism with one or more cells that has membrane-bound organelles inside, like a nucleus, Golgi apparatus, smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, or chloroplast. So the broadest category within cladistics is going to be the domain. Okay, and it includes three broad domains: bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. These names are slightly different, or I've seen slightly different names in different textbooks, so we're going to use these, but understand that if you move on to some upper level biology class, these might be slightly different in the way that they're spelled. But the general root words are all the same. Within these domains are 6 kingdoms, which are bacteria, archaea, protists, fungi, plants, and animals. Organisms are classified into domains based on cell types and their structures. Organisms are classified into kingdoms based on cell type, structure, and nutrition, how they gain and receive nutrition. Bacteria are members of the domain and kingdom bacteria, and they are prokaryotes, having no nuclei and no membrane-bound organelles. Bacteria are a diverse group that can perform different things in different environments, ranging from highly salty environments to highly acidic environments, and a full range in between, temperatures, hot and cold, very resilient organisms, bacteria. Some are aerobic, meaning that they can survive in the presence of oxygen. Some are obligate anaerobes, meaning that they must have no oxygen to survive. Most bacteria are heterotrophs, meaning that they eat other things, but a couple of cyanobacterium are autotrophs. And bacteria are the most abundant organisms on the planet. They are basically everywhere, and everywhere humans go, they come with us. Archaea are thought to be the precursor organisms that eventually gave rise to eukaryotes. So bacteria evolved into archaea, and archaea evolved into eukaryotes, is what's presently thought. Will that change in the future? Maybe, maybe not. But for right now, that's where science is. They have cell walls which lack protein, the protein peptidoglycan that can be found in some bacteria, and they have some of the same proteins as eukaryotes. So they are single-celled organisms like bacteria, but they don't have the peptidoglycan in their cell wall like most bacteria do, and they have some protein structures that are similar to those of eukaryotes, and were originally, if I'm not horribly mistaken, thought to be eukaryotic in nature. Or nope, that's wrong. They were originally thought to be bacterial in nature, but because of the lack of peptidoglycan and the presence of those proteins, were moved into a category of their own. Archaea are diverse in diverse in shape and nutrition requirements, as well as their habitats. Most are heterotrophs, but some can do autotrophic chemosynthesis. And the extremophiles that live in the highest temperature, highest salinity, highest sugar concentrations tend to come from not bacteria, but from these archaea. Now, all eukaryotes have a membrane-bound nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles, such as mitochondrion. Domain Eukarya contains the kingdoms Protista, Funga, Plantae, and Animalae. Kingdom Protista includes the protists, which are eukaryotes, eukaryotic organisms that can be unicellular, colonial, meaning that they group together but they're not a tissue, or multicellular, and so those do form cellulars. Protists are classified into three different groups: plant-like protists, animal-like protists, and fungi-like protists. Now, Kingdom Fungi is a fun kingdom because it's ruled by a fungi. Ha ha ha. So, a fungus is a unicellular or multicellular organism, or eukaryotic organism, that absorbs nutrients from organic materials in the environment. And it can be living organic materials or non-living organic materials in the environment. Members tend to be heterotrophic and lack motility, and it will reproduce and spread themselves by sporing. And they have cell walls that contain chitin, which is the same protein that is in your insect cell walls, which is interesting. A fungus consists of thread-like structures called hyphae and feeding, or those are for feeding and growth and reproduction. Sorry about the noise in the background. Kingdom Animalia has all animals which are heterotrophs, which exist on Earth. And so everything from cats to dogs, anything that crawls and creeps upon the Earth, swims in the oceans, or flies in the sky is in Kingdom Animalia. Cells are organized into tissues, and tissues into organs, organs into organ systems. And Plantae, of course, includes all of the plants. Now, viruses, which are an exception to all of this. A virus is a nucleotide organism and oftentimes surrounded by proteins. Though you can have some viruses that are naked DNA. Viruses do not possess cells, nor are they cells. Yeah, they don't possess cells, nor do they have any cellular structures of any kind, and they are not considered to be living. They are just like a computer program. They take over a system, they use it to reproduce more of itself, and then they kill the system. So it's an interesting type of organism. You couldn't even call it a parasite because it's not growing on its own. It's using the machinery of a cell to reproduce itself. And so that's how it spreads. It's literally a rogue program that installs itself in the programming of your cell and then reproduces itself, killing the cell eventually, and then releases more copies of itself. So, what are the major characteristics of the three domains? Your bacteria, archaea, and animals, or eukaryotes, sorry. It's a great question, and hopefully you have some information to answer it. If you have questions, of course, do please let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening.